So before anybody works with you, you definitely want to focus on their psychographics first, because when you focus on their psychographics, your message and the content you share resonates more deeply, not surface level. We want to go deep, right, with our content.
Ladies, welcome to the Women Who Lead Summit. I know it's been amazing. And I cannot wait to introduce you to our next speaker because she is freaking awesome. And I am thrilled to introduce you to her. She is a freaking powerhouse in the world of business growth and client attraction. Yeah, you heard me. Pay attention. Go grab a pen, grab your workbook because you need to write some stuff down, okay? This is Stacie Walker. She is in the house, okay? Stacy is the founder of Unleash Your Ambition and the trusted guide for coaches and consultants and course creators looking to fast track their success. So, with her proven strategy, Stacy empowers entrepreneurs to design high converting, let's speak English, high converting client and customer attraction process that generate meaningful impact, loyal clients, increased cash flow. I know y'all listening now, huh? I know y'all are. Okay, so today she is going to share her expertise. In this session, it's going to be called Client That Convert, the 7 content pillars model for, let me try this again. Let's try to speak English, okay? Content that converts, the 7 content pillars, model for more impact, okay? Clients and cash flow. You'll discover how she has the key steps for you. I really want you to listen in, okay? Really listen, position yourself, okay? Because she's going to help you be the go-to expert in your industry. Now, if you're ready to unlock all those nitty-gritties and all the secrets, let's welcome Miss Stacie Walker to the stage. Hola!
Hola! Thank you, Neena.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. I know that we met at my podcast. Loved you then. Love you now. So I wanted to make sure that these women got a chance to experience you and your wisdom and your expertise and all that great stuff. So thank you so much for being on the Women Who Lead Summit. I appreciate you.
Really I appreciate you, and I am honored to be a part of this powerhouse lineup and to be a part of something that can actually change so many lives all around the world, which is awesome.
Yeah. It's been really great. We have had people from all around, which has been really cool, right? And these are all women who are really trying to step into 2025 with more impact, right? And that's my word of the year is impact. And so that's why I decided to do this summit. Now, I've been working on this summit since June or July of last year. As you know, being a summit expert yourself, is that it takes a lot of time and a lot of, a lot of back end work, a lot of money. It takes all those steps that you have to do, but it's so freaking worth it because the women who have been coming have been sending me emails now oh my God, and I got this, and this was amazing. And that's the stuff that keeps you getting up every day to make sure you show up, right? I know you like summits yourself, right?
I love summits. It's actually the cornerstone of my business success since 2017. Collaboration.
Yes.
Anyone that understands it, but not only understands it, but leverages it for their business will get results faster because a business is not created alone. Top companies, talking about the top corporations, they collaborate with other companies. So I think doing things together, finding like-minded people, finding other people that understand the power of collaboration and can share their value goes a long way. It's a win for everybody, especially for the people who attend, because they get inside our minds. They get outside of their perspective and find new ideas and ways to not only grow their businesses, but to help people solve problems and to also change their lives.
It's so true. And I think, for those of us who are in business or getting in business or just starting, because that's what most of these women are doing right now, they have to remember too that not collaborating or networking and stuff is a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
It's a mindset of you thinking, I have to keep it to myself and I have to, and nobody can know because they're going to steal your idea. And actually, when I started to hit 6 figures and above, I realized people up here play a little differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A
Like
lot different.
a lot differently, right? Because I was born in scarcity, poverty, and all of that kind of stuff. So I always had the mentality like work really hard, kill yourself, and then
Yeah.
die, right? You know.
Yeah.
And then I realized, growing up, growing into my awareness of what it means to have six figures and all that kind of stuff. Then I'm like, wait a minute, it's all about networking and
Right.
collaboration. It's all about that because you can support each other in growth. And the higher you get, six figures, seven figures, eight figures, it's more empty up here. So,
Yeah.
like we have to collaborate. So we want
Mhm.
to impact people to help them get there. And
Yes.
I am really grateful for you to be here because I know your expertise in this. And
Mhm.
I wanted to
Mhm.
talk and start off with clarity, right? Because most of us are coming into this. Maybe we just don't know exactly how to have clients or how to actually win them over, or what does it mean to have
Yeah.
content that converts, like all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted you to talk to us about why is clarity such an essential first step for us? Like
Whew.
we have to get it right, right? So before
Yeah.
creating content, how can we as entrepreneurs ensure that we're clear, that we actually have something that's going to be clear for our audience?
Mhm.
Because some people just say, oh, just put it out there. But if you're not at least somewhat clear, nobody actually knows what you're talking about. So can you help
Absolutely.
us with that?
Absolutely. I would love to help with that. And I think this is a great place to start since content is just not saying whatever. I mean, your message is what gets the attention of your best fit client or customer. So it's not speaking to everybody because your product or service is not meant for everybody. Okay, so Neena, I would love for you to share the screen real quick because what I'm sharing right now is actually included. Actually, everything that I'm sharing today for this segment is actually something that's included in the a content starter kit that I'm giving as a resource to help you create content that converts, because it's not something that you guess at, and it also is something that you want to be very intentional about and also do it in a way that is going to get the attention of your best fit clients or customers. And you'll also have a very specific process that's unique to your mission, your vision, and personality to attract clients or customers. So before you can create any content, because you can't create any content to earn money in your business. It just will not happen. You want to be clear on 5 things. There's 6, but I want to go over 5 right now because the 6th one is a whole topic on its own. But the first one is like, before you put any content out there, you need to know, what are you selling? For example, I have clients that have 3 different products or 3 different services. So the content that they're sharing cannot be tailored to all 3 products or services. You're only focusing on that one product that you're selling. This is the center of everything. You need to know exactly what product or service you're selling before you create any content. The next thing is, like, now that you know that you're selling, what transformation and results does your product or service provide? You need to be clear on that. A great thing that I have my clients do is have some type of notebook, journal, or even a whiteboard, something to look at. That way you know specifically what transformation or results your product or service can provide to your best fit client or customer. And you hear me saying best fit client or customer. These are the people that your content is for, not for everyone, because not everyone is your best fit client or customer. And since you're only focusing on speaking to them and creating content for them, it's going to help you really hone in on what you're going to say, whether it's in audio format, video format, or the written word. So you need to be clear about the transformation. Next thing, target audience. Again, I'm going to beat this like a dead pillow. Okay. You need to know who your target audience is. And I'm not just talking about demographics. I'm talking about psychographics. Demographics is just very over the surface information that a lot of people come into knowledge about when it comes to marketing a product or service. I'm pretty sure universities teach about demographics, but really goes underneath the surface for attracting your target audience is understanding their psychographics. And I will go over that in a little while. And that was like the thing that I really wanted to talk about after this. So you need to know who your target audience is. For example, my one-on-one coaching, which is $20,000, is not the same target audience as someone who joins my monthly membership or a self-study version of one of a course, for example. Those are two different types of target audience, even though the umbrella is, these are the same people. They're just at different stages of their business. So you have to make sure, if I can speak right, you have to make sure that your target audience for your specific product or service, you got to be clear on that, because it makes it easier for you to know who you're going to be speaking to, right? For example, like what I'm sharing with you right now is specifically geared towards those of you who are new to your business and you're not at six figures yet. This is your message and understanding your target audience is a very foundational piece, a fundamental piece, and it's something you have to understand before you even get to six figures and above. So you being clear on your target audience is really going to help you create content that converts. And like I said, you might have different, you might have an overall view of who your target audience is, but there's sub target audiences within the main target audience is what you need to make sure that you're very clear on. I hope that makes sense. Next thing, distribution schedule. Now, you got to be clear on this, because if you go online, go TikTok, Twitter /X, Facebook, what else? I don't know, any platform. Okay, you will notice that some people are just pumping out content all the time, and you don't want to pay attention to what other people are doing. You need to really get clear on what your capacity is, because if you don't get clear on this, you will end up burning yourself out. I see this time and time again with people who come to work with me, is that they're on a roll for a month, 2 months, maybe distributing content every day on 5 different platforms, whatever, but eventually they're going to burn out. And the goal is not to burn out. You want to stay consistent. Consistent doesn't mean every single day. Consistent means what you have the capacity for, at least for the next 90 days. So you want to be clear, not only your distribution schedule, it could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday. You want to get clear on that. And that's what I'm saying. Don't focus on what other people are doing, because you have no idea how many people they have on their team, how many content assets they have to chop up, repurpose, repackage. You have no idea. So don't focus on what other people are doing. You got to focus on what you have the capacity for right now, with or without team. And the last thing is the platform that you're going to share your content on. And I never recommend to be on all platforms at all times. I do believe in at least having a profile set up, a presence. Like, for example, I'm hardly ever on LinkedIn, but if you go to LinkedIn, you will find me on LinkedIn. I hardly ever go to Threads, but I have a profile on Threads. So I do recommend you having a home base on maybe the top 5 social media platforms, but I do not recommend sharing content on all of those platforms yet. You want to focus on one primary platform and one secondary platform, because here's why. There are an abundance of people on Facebook. I believe it's a billion people that are on Facebook right now. You don't have to reach all billion people. But the thing is, if you decided that you only wanted to focus on Facebook for the life of your business, I guess until Facebook's not there anymore, you would be fine there. But just in case Facebook shuts down, for example, TikTok shut down in the US for a little while and a lot of people freaked out. You know who didn't freak out? Me or my clients, because we knew we had other, a secondary platform. So you want to have a secondary platform where you can repurpose your content. So maybe it's Facebook is your primary, secondary is LinkedIn, or maybe Instagram is your primary and secondary is Threads. You just want to decide where would you like to share your content consistently. You do not have to stretch yourself too thin. And once you two platforms is enough to learn the platform, connect with people, utilize all the tools available on that platform. Just one platform is enough, but you want to have a secondary just in case the primary platform shuts down, or maybe your account gets temporarily suspended. You never know. For example, with me for Facebook, I can't run any ads on Facebook, and it's been 2 years, which I'm okay with, but I have another platform that I use without ads. I don't use ads for my business, but that's just an example. I have restrictions on Facebook, but the other platforms I don't. So if I decide I want to use ads, I can use YouTube, I can use X. So that's the downside about social platforms, is that we don't own them. We're renting space on somebody else's land and they can kick us out at any time. So you definitely want to have a backup just in case that happens. So those are 5 things that you really want to get clear on before we even get into the content creation process. And I'll be going over that in a moment.
I took down all the notes because
Wonderful.
You're awesome. So what you're selling, right? Being really focused on that. What transformation or results does my product or my service provide? Because a lot of times we think about the method on which we're doing something and not really the result of what we're doing. I talk to my girls about that all the time. Your target audience, who actually are you speaking to? Like you said, psychographically is very important. It can't just be what location they're at, but who are they?
Yeah.
Where do they work? What are they interested in, right? The psychographics are super important. Then you talked about distribution and scheduling. To be very clear, I like that, right? Be very clear about what you're doing. I do 21-day campaigns with my ladies. I make them be consistent with one thing for 21 days,
right?
Because otherwise they're everywhere. And then they're like, it's not working. I'm like, yeah, because nobody knows what the heck you're talking about. You got 50,000
It's only been 21 days.
Right, exactly. It's so funny. Everybody thinks it was so funny. Me and my client were laughing because she was like, I put out a post and only 10 people liked it. This isn't working. I said, and you put it out like an hour ago? Okay.
Yeah.
And she was like, started laughing. She goes, I know. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. So now that she's actually taking my lead, she's called me yesterday to tell me she had 4 calls that she has to be on. And I was like, she's like, it works. I'm like, yeah, trust the process, woman. Trust the process. Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
I love that so much. And then I loved what you talked about with your platforms. Now, and I'm sure you're big on this anyway, because you're a big summit person and you know about summits and putting them together. So an email list, right? Yeah, because I love that you talked about, you're right. Facebook at one point stopped me for, I guess they didn't like something I said, and my account was frozen, and I'm like,
right.
What? I said,
I know.
Wait a second. I'm saying, we were all in conversation. They said something else too. Like, what is going on here? But they make the decisions, not me.
Right.
So I love that you said have a secondary form of communication with your people. I do agree with that. And I agree with all of for all of you who are interactive with your people on socials, get those emails ASAP.
Yes. Your job is to move those people onto your email list, because we don't own those platforms. And it's nice to provide valuable content, videos and stuff on those platforms. But the main objective is to get people on your email list. A lot of people still miss this. And I've been talking about this since 2017, and there's just so many people who don't prioritize building an email list, using the social media platforms as a way to grow their list in addition to other things. But
Yep.
yeah, get people off of social media that you got their attention, get them on your list. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, because, at least with your email list, you can download that into, a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And if anything happens, you have contact to start your business over again somewhere else. And if people love you, they will follow you wherever you're going, so you got to make your people fans so that they'll follow you, right?
Yeah.
So what you just went through with us, for the content that converts, is I wrote down 5, right? I know you said there was like 6. There's one that you said you keep on the side, or is that right?
Psychographics.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because some people don't know what that means.
Mhm.
Like, what does that mean? So I do have something. So yes, we are going to be talking about like identifying your best fit client or customer, which is your target audience. So remember, I said that you don't want to focus on demographics. Yeah, those are important. And I think demographics really comes into play after you've attracted some clients or customers to your business, because you'll start seeing patterns of what type of people work with you. Like, for example, like I don't mention that I'm a woman only business or a male only business or whoever. However, from the people that have worked with me, it's all been women, so based off of my clients that come to me, and also a lot of them are moms. A lot of them are either exploring homeschooling, or they are homeschool moms, because I do homeschool my youngest son in addition to running my business. So I'm seeing some similarities as far as demographics when it comes to the type of people that are already working with me, who have already bought products or services from my company. So that I think plays more of a role after people have purchased from you, have invested in whatever you have to offer. So before anybody works with you, you definitely want to focus on their psychographics first, because when you focus on their psychographics, your message and the content you share resonates more deeply, not surface level. We want to go deep, right, with our content. That way you're speaking directly to their needs and desires, right? And that leads to increased sales and a more sustainable business. And it also helps you save time, money, and effort by honing in on those who are the perfect match for what you have to offer. So what I mean by psychographics, first thing is like the current reality of your best fit client or customer. So there's like 5 questions that you can answer. And I do recommend writing this stuff down. Like what I'm sharing with you, like I said, some of it is in the content starter kit, and it's not just reading something, consuming information. You're actually doing some work that's going to help you, not just right now, but for a very long time, because the content assets that I create for my business and that I help my clients create for their businesses, it lasts for months, if not years. So they're not having to create new content all the time. They're just repurposing the content that they already have, especially when they figure out what content is actually, on point to where it's actually delivering results. So the first thing when it comes to the current reality of your best fit client or customer is like, what external circumstances are they experiencing without the solution I provide? Right? So the questions are formed in a way to help you be introspective, right? Like, think about like what is going on with their life. Like, you're clear about what you're selling. So what's going on in their life? And I would even go down to like, okay, external circumstances. Are they staying up late? Is their life chaotic? Like, it's really going to be specific to what you're selling, so only you know the answers to this, right? Like, there are some specific things that are going on in their life externally that they're experiencing. Maybe they're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe if you're a relationship coach or consultant or course creator, maybe they're having a hard time communicating with their significant other, and they hardly even talk. They hardly even connect. Like think about some things. Just put down what comes top of mind, but you can always add to it later. Like this is really going to help you with the content that you're creating. The second prompt you want to ask yourself when it comes to their current reality is like, what emotions are they experiencing without the solution I provide? There's some feelings going on, because human beings, we are emotional creatures, right? So your content should be including some of the things that they're feeling. Are they feeling sad? Are they feeling mad? Are they frustrated? Do they feel there's all sorts of emotions. You can even go on Google and do a search about the list of emotions that we feel as humans, and use it as a cheat sheet to write down maybe some emotions. I know a lot of my clients are frustrated, right? They're frustrated because they've tried so many different things. They've invested so much money, but they're still not getting the results they desire. So you want to think about what emotions they're feeling right now, right? Not later, and because I'm going to get into that in a moment. Next question is, what physical symptoms are they experiencing without the solution I provide? There's definitely some physical symptoms that are going on. I know when I was struggling with my business before 2017, my physical symptoms, burnout. I wasn't eating healthy, so I gained a lot of weight. I wasn't sleeping well, what else? I was tired all the time. So there's some physical symptoms your best fit client or customer is experiencing right now without the solution you provide, right? This is what I love about Psychographics, because it actually allows you to really get inside the minds of your best fit clients or customers, and not in a manipulating way. This is just about their current reality, what they're experiencing. And if you understand the current reality, they're going to pay attention to what you're saying in your content. Fourth thing is, what are they experiencing spiritually without the solution I provide? And I put this question here because there are some people who are experiencing something spiritually, or lack of spiritual, without the solution you provide, right? I have a lot of spiritual based clients, so I thought it was important to put that in there. It may or may not apply to your target audience, but I thought it was something that should be included, especially if you are a spiritual based business or a Christian based business, or whatever it is, like whatever it is. Okay, so there are things that they might be experiencing spiritually without your solution. So that's definitely something that you want to include in your content, especially if you have a spiritually based business, Christian based business, or any other type of based business. Number 5, what dominating negative thoughts are they having without the solution I provide? Because there are some thoughts that are going on. Us as human beings, we usually have more negative thoughts than positive thoughts, which is our default. So knowing this, you can use this to your advantage to get the attention of your best fit client or customer, because you're aware of what type of thoughts they might be experiencing. I know some negative thoughts that my clients or customers have before they end up investing in working with me in whatever way that they see fit, is that a thought is, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I need to quit. Maybe I need to go back to my 9-to-5. Maybe I need to just do something else. Like, there are some negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts aren't truth. They're just thoughts. You don't have they don't have to declare them as truth, which is why I think it's very important for you to know what their current reality is when it comes to the dominating negative thoughts, because when it's time for you to start introducing your product or service, which is the solution you provide, you mainly want to talk about the desired reality of your best fit client or customer after they purchase after they purchase your product or service. You want to paint the picture in your message, through your message, of what their life can look like after they invest in your product or service. And the best way to do this is to answer these 5 questions. And again, you can always add to these later. Like sometimes when I have a new product or service, or I'm going over an existing product or service, I will add to the list of things that I've already written down, because new ideas will come at different times as time moves forward for us. So when it comes to the desired reality, because this is what you mainly want to focus on, because this will be the reason they invest in your product or service. What external circumstances will they experience after investing in your product or service? Will they have an abundance of income? Will they have a better relationship with their spouse, their child, their loved ones? Maybe they're able to finally move to their dream location. Maybe they're able to they're actively working in a C-suite position that they've always dreamed about. Maybe their external circumstances that they're just so confident and clear on the type of meals that they're going to provide to their family that are healthy and aren't boring. Like, there are some external circumstances that will happen after they invest in your product or service. So you want to make sure you're communicating that in the content that you're sharing. Another question is, what emotions will they experience after investing in the solution I provide? They will feel relieved. They will be happy. They will be more confident. They will have more energy. They will be more excited. Right? So think about emotions that they might be experiencing, because when it comes to what people desire, if they're in their current reality, they want to get on the other side of that. So you being able to communicate that through your content is going to help them see what is possible for them. Number 8, how will they feel physically after investing in the solution I provide? How they feel physically. They have more energy. They're happier. They get more rested. They're more rested. Their hormones are more balanced. It's really going to depend on what product or service you're selling. So it's going to be very specific to that product or service. Number 9, what are they experiencing spiritually after investing in the solution I provide? And I said, like, if that's applicable, maybe they have a better relationship with their spouse, or a better relationship with, who they're spiritually connected to. Maybe they have a more sense of purpose. It only, like I said, only you're going to know the answers to this question based off of the product or service that you're selling. And then number 10, what dominating positive thoughts will they have after investing in the solution I provide? So, for example, a lot of positive thoughts that they could be experiencing is, I can do this. I am more capable. I am, anything that's positive when it comes to your product or service. I don't think I need to give any more examples for that. But that's what I mean by psychographics. You want to think about their current reality without your product or service, and their desired reality after investing in your product or service.
Okay. That was really good, because I teach psychographics as well, because I think it's one of the things we overlook. And what people don't realize with psychographics, and I want you ladies, especially those of you who are just starting to start this thing and you don't know where to start, or who you're talking to, this is important. What she left you is gold. Make sure you guys are taking notes, because when you can speak to that person's pain, when you can speak to where they are, because and I'm not, and like Stacy said, it's not about manipulation. It's about
Right.
you reaching them where they're feeling it the most, because we get in our own freaking way. Right. And so as your ideal client is also getting in her own or his own way. They're
Mhm.
like overthinking it, putting things in their way. They don't trust themselves, like all these things. And if you don't know how to speak to that, it's going to be hard for them to understand that you have a solution. And it's going to be hard for you to actually get your business going in the momentum it needs to go. So speak to them where they are. And you know what? Stacie, you probably can agree with this. Most of the people you're speaking to is you 5 years ago.
Yep, absolutely. That's
It's
why I'm
usually
so
yeah,
good at.
right?
That's why I'm so great at creating
Right.
content that speaks to them, because it's like I'm in their head, because I'm speaking to a past version of myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it makes it easy to just break it down in a very intentional and methodical way, which those prompts provide, because it's very intentional, and it's about being empathetic, like, where they are, and of course you want to help them. I know anybody that is watching this or part of who's attending this summit, they want to help people.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we got to talk about some of the ugly side of this, because it's truth, but you don't have to pour salt on the wound.
Right.
That's why it's very important for you to communicate their desired reality. That way they can see beyond where they are right now, because like you said, Neena, so many people are in their own way. I get in my own way all the time.
Me too. Why do you think I said it?
Right? All the time. But when somebody says something and it's truthful, and it hurts a little bit, but I need that in order to move forward. But I just don't want them to tell me how much it hurts. I want them to tell me how I can also heal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So psychographics comes into a huge play when it comes to content. And I don't think too many people focus on psychographics enough.
Agreed.
Yeah. I feel like it's something that's not even talked about enough. Even online, because most people always think of demographics. I know, like, the educational system, at least from when I used to be in it, would only talk about the demographics. It just seems like it's just a character of somebody. 35, white, black, Asian, lives in Denver. That really does not that's not really a real person to me. But when you get into the psychographics, that's like, okay, that is an actual person that I can speak to through my content, when I know what their current reality is and what their desired reality is.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, I remember when I first started coaching back in 2002, it wasn't coaching that back then, it was called leadership or whatever, right? Coaching is a buzzword now, but I just remember, going through all the years of certifications and education and all those things. You're right. Demographic is the one thing that is spoken about. And I went with that for a while too, but it just never felt like it resonated. Like I never landed.
Right.
And then I was like, when somebody said to me, what's their pain point? And then I'm like, well, then I got all in, because I'm a nerd like that. I like to find out what that all means. And then I'm doing all this research. And psychographics, same thing with me, Stacie. It was just one of those things where you can connect with them for real. Right. And then you start to realize, oh, that was me like a year ago. Like that was me. And that's the thing. I'm going to have Stacie talk to us about the 7 content pillars. But, one thing I want to say to you all too, who are doing this, is you don't have to be 20 years ahead of someone. You can be 1 chapter ahead and you can help someone. Okay, so get out of your head. All you overachievers, get out of the head here. Okay. Because the truth is, you just need to be 1 chapter ahead. If you know something that you've learned and you're doing it well, and it's just 1 chapter ahead of that next person, help them out. That's all it is.
Have to be many steps. I mean, I even have worked with people that surpass how much money I've made in my business. Like, I didn't think I could help them for a while, but it's like, of course I can. I can help them get clear on some of the, foundational pieces that I teach my clients who are wanting to get to 6 figures. But, but yeah, that's the goal. Like, you don't have to be that far ahead, but if you have some results and you have a process that you can take multiple people through to help them get a similar result or better, you're golden,
Right.
because we all start from zero when we start our business.
That's
We
right.
all do. I
Yes, we
had
do.
no business experience prior to 2008, but I stuck with it since then, and I've been able to help all sorts of people from different backgrounds. So you'll be
Yeah.
surprised who's willing to invest in what you have to offer, especially if you're
Yeah.
clear about who you can help, how you can help them, and what type of results that you can,
Right.
help them achieve.
Right, especially with the psychographics. So thank
Yep.
you for that lesson. I know that was kind of like a side thing I kind of threw
Yeah.
on you, but I
Yeah.
appreciate that because that was deep.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get into it, right? I want you to just
Yes.
explain to them, like the 7 content pillar model,
Mhm.
and how it simplifies the process of creating high impact content, because content is what we're talking about. So if you can guide us through that, that would be freaking
Yes.
awesome.
I would love to. And can you share the screen? That way everyone can, read along and also take a look at, the visual aspects of the 7 content pillar model. So understanding and utilizing the 7 content pillar model is key because it helps you share your message and grow your business that, again, is authentic, aligned with your mission, vision, and personality. And each component of the 7 content pillar model serves as a powerful tool for creating content that resonates with your audience, drives more impact, clients or customers, and cash flow. Like I went over, the psychographics, but you might be wondering, like, how can you create content that's authentic? Like, I'm not saying you have to have scripts and your content has to look like everybody else's online. No, it can look totally authentic to you. Like the type of content I create is very different from a lot of what you see online, which is fine because it's authentic to me. Excuse me. And it helps you stand out in a very crowded online space. That's what you want. So the 7 content pillar model helps you share your message in an authentic way. It doesn't look like everything else out there because it's coming from you. It's coming from your personality type, your mission, your vision of your business and how you want to help people. So with the 7 content pillar model, whether you're sharing on social media, reaching out to your email subscribers, or anywhere else, or in the written word, video content, audio content, these pillars are designed to help you attract your best fit client or customers. And it also helps you create 7 unique pieces of content, hence the name, the 7 content pillar model. The beauty of this model is its flexibility. You can use these pillars in any order that makes sense for your business, and you can repurpose this content, which is key. You don't want to have to keep creating new content for a specific product or service. You want to build on what you've already created or revamp it. So the best thing to do is start with 7 pieces of content that are relevant to the product or service you're selling. And that way it helps you start getting your message out there. Done is better than perfect. You can always refine as time goes on. So what I do with, is help my clients with creating their content assets. And we usually start with the 7 content pillar model. Ultimately, the goal is, this model is to take your audience on a journey from first discovering you to becoming a loyal customer or client. And by applying each of the components of the model in your content, you'll be able to share your story, build trust with your audience, and ultimately drive more sales and revenue. Because at the end of the day, you are a business owner, your business needs money in order for you to fund your living, in order for you to also fund your business so you can continue to provide the best services, the best products for your clients or customers. So let's take a look at the 7 content pillar model, a visual representation of this. And again, you can do this in any order, because a lot of people ask me, do I need to do this in a particular order? It's like, no, do this in whatever order you want. You just want to make sure you have all 7 of these content pieces what for the product or service that you're selling. So if you have 3 different products or services, then you're going to have to create a content pillar, 7 content pillars for product number 1 or service number 1. You're going to have to create 7 content pillars for product number 2 or service number 2. And then you're going to have to create 7 content pillars for service number 3 or product number 3. So proof of results. Okay, so it's great for you to shout at the rooftops how effective your product or service is, but it's even better when you have proof of results. What I mean by that is, do you have testimonials or case studies to share on social media, to your email list, on a YouTube video, like something that proves that your product or service delivers results. So if you're new and you've had some clients or customers, but you have not been collecting testimonials, you want to start now. You want to continue to make that something that is a process in your business for anybody that invests in your products or service. I have like a Google form survey that I have my clients fill out or my customers fill out. That way I can keep adding to the library, to a digital folder of proof of results. I have a huge folder. I have not been able to even share all of the proof of results yet. But you want to start doing this. Now, I know some of you are brand new and maybe you have not sold a product, your product or service yet. That is okay. If you don't, then you want to start collecting testimonials. Maybe you know somebody, maybe you know some people who can try out your product or service in exchange for a testimonial or case study. You can definitely do that. And I would say, like, you don't need a lot of people to do this, maybe 3 people, right? So you can start collecting testimonials that way. And then after people start buying your products or services, you want to make sure you continue to collect testimonials or case studies. They can be in written form, they can be video, they can be audio, it could be a mix of all 3, but you definitely want to be sharing this on your social platforms, to your email list. Heck, you can even share it in an audio clip, like if you have a podcast. Like, there's so many different ways that you can share proof of results for your products or service. The next one is ask for the sale. A lot of people like to share content on social media, but a lot of people don't like to sell on social media. I see this a lot. I have a lot of clients come to me. They know that their product or service delivers results, but they don't know how to effectively sell their product or service to their email list, on social media, through their podcast, on a YouTube video. So you want to make sure that, out of 7 pieces of content, you asking for the sale for just one of them is a great place to start. Like, I could even say, like, in another level of this is that you can ask for the sale for each piece of content that you create. Like, for proof of results, ask for the sales, lifestyle snippet, credibility booster, for all of them. But you just want to just start with a piece of content that is, you are selling your product or service. And if you don't know how to do that, that is something that you're going to have to learn to do, because nobody's going to just magically buy your product or service without you letting people know that you have a product or service to sell. So you definitely want to have pieces of content that strictly focus on you asking for the sell and letting people know that you have a business. You're not just sharing helpful content, that you have a product or service that's going to help them. A third piece of content that you want to create when it comes to the 7 content pillar model is a lifestyle snippet. Now, I'm a very private person. I don't share all my business on social media. I know a lot of people like to do that, but me personally, I don't. So if you're a person that does not like to share every aspect of your life, just know that you don't have to. Think about 2, 3, maybe 4 things that you don't mind sharing publicly. For example, I like to share, like, behind the scenes of, like, what I'm doing in my business, while I'm on a vacation with my family or something like that. I might share places that, Like I moved to a location where I could be outdoors a lot because I love the great outdoors. So I like to share the places that me and my family go. And it's not even me on camera, it's me sharing a landscape, really. Pictures of a campfire, picture of a cabin that we're at, or video, whatever. I might show a snippet of, maybe my setup. I mean, it could be whatever it is, or a snippet of the books that I'm reading, or snippets of how I get through my morning. Like, what are the things that I do in the morning? Just little snippets of the person behind the business. Like, people, especially for the past almost 10 years, people want to know the person behind the business. Remember, people aren't connecting with your logo or the name of your business, they are connecting with you. If you're the face of your business, people want to get a peek into who you are and what you do. And it does not mean everything. Like, for example, I respect the anonymity of my kids, so I'm not sharing them all the time. So, like, it needs to be within what your boundaries and what you're willing to share publicly, right? That might be interesting to your best fit clients or customers. Credibility booster. As business owners, we want to make sure that we're sharing places that we've been featured. Now, I know, Neena, I know that you know this, that it's great to be featured on podcasts, or maybe be a host of a podcast, or be featured in a summit, or maybe you got an award somewhere that's relevant to your business. Those are the things that you want to share, because that helps people see, number one, you're serious about the work that you do, but number two, that other credible sources actually respect, and also respect your opinion, value your opinion, they value the value you provide in your experiences. So if you get featured on the podcast, you want to make sure you share that. If you got some type of award that is relevant to your business, share that publicly. Like, it's great for people to see that, and plus people can celebrate with you. Next one is showcase your expertise. So you host a master class, do something that really helps people see exactly how you can help them. Fifth piece of piece of content is list build. Neena and I, we already went through this earlier. You want to make sure that you have content that helps you grow your list. And the seventh content pillar is encourage engagement, which means ask some questions. Don't let it be a one-sided thing. So think of a list of questions you can ask people who are your best fit client or customers. You might have to throw some questions out there to get some engagement back, but keep it up. People will respond eventually. And that essentially is the 7 content pillar model.
That's really great. Thank you so much for sharing that, because those are like so many different touch points that people don't think about. They only think, oh, I just have to put a video on social media, or I only have to do a blog. But no, actually, people are looking for you everywhere. And so if you can take your content and repurpose it or do different things, you're going to get found even more. And at least if you're consistent, the algorithms and stuff will like you a little bit more, and they'll put you out there a bit more. So thank you so much for that. You have left so much wisdom on this freaking table. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I got a ton of notes like I expected. So thank you so much. But before we wrap up, because I also want to get that freebie that you got there, let us know how we can get the freebie, because I know that you are such a good heart. You are like, I'll give them something. So I'm like, I'm grateful. And also how they can follow you, check out what you do, check you out, because they might want to work with you. Give us that info.
Absolutely. So the resource is the perfectly aligned content starter kit. Neena, I did give you the link for people to sign up. And what I've been sharing on your screen is basically what the kit looks like. So it allows you to, look at the prompts, answer the prompts. It's a resource that you can go back to over and over again. It's an interactive resource. You're not just consuming content. It's meant for you to, it's meant to pull information out of you that's going to help you create content. Now, as far as connecting with me, you can go to unleashyourambition.com. I also have a podcast, the Unleash Your Ambition podcast, and I'm also on YouTube. You can look, you can type in Unleash Your Ambition with Stacie Walker, and those are the best places to connect with me. Now, if you're looking to possibly work with me, you can find all of that information on unleashyourambition.com.
You are a blessing. Thank you so much for being here and like sharing all that wisdom, because that was so much knowledge, and I know that that's going to help them tremendously. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me to go over it. I know it was a lot, but I'm telling you, like, once you put it, it gets easier. It does not get harder. Plus that resource, the Content Starter Kit is a great place for you to get started.
It sure is. It sure is. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me and Stacy. I told you, right? I told you to buckle up, grab a pen, grab a pencil and playing, right? So make sure that if you missed something, rewind, watch it again. But I am so grateful for all the experts, and she is just such an expert. I had to make sure I reached out to her to be here because I knew this was one of the pieces that you needed, because we talk a lot about mindset and all that kind of stuff, but you also need strategies and systems. So I am so grateful for you guys. Make sure that you like, you share this, you tell others. This was an amazing episode. And this is the Women Who Lead Summit. So on to the next one. Thank you so much.